And what's the response from the collective of morons we have in Washington? Oh, I'm not aware of any such phenomenon, or chemtrailing is just another conspiracy theory, or any other lame excuse they can come up with to dismiss the problem and not address the issue. The ecological damage, human health hazards, and overall negative versus positive effects being done by chemtrailing has been well documented, but we are now facing a new, clear and present danger. Chemtrailing is exacerbating the fallout contamination in the Northern Hemisphere. You can't tell me that the scientists, corporations, and governments involved in chemtrailing are not aware of these facts. You can't tell me that these entities aren't aware that they are increasing the kill rate by continuing to spray throughout the jet stream after the Fukushima disaster, by amplifying the mutagenic effects of radiation exposure and amplifying the terminal effects of prolonged radiation exposure. People, this shit has got to stop. It's obvious we cannot get our elected officials to act in the best interests of the people, of humanity. So I would ask the pilots of these planes doing the chemtrailing that take off every day and land every day, refuse to fly. To the workers in the hangars, refuse to load the canisters containing these toxins on the planes. To the insurance companies that insure these aircraft so they can fly, cancel their policies. And to the employees of Project Cloverleaf and other organizations involved in atmospheric geoengineering, find other employment. Thank you for watching, and please share these videos.
Well, I got in my car and went down to the bar to relax from a full working day. And while drinking my beer, I happened to hear this New York banker type say that our country's all wrong and that we don't belong in affairs that are so far away. And so I pushed back my chair and I stood up right there and made sure the whole bar heard me say, I'm totally gay for America. I'm totally gay for the US of A. From the east to the west, from the north to the south, I'd gladly bend down and take Florida in my mouth. I'd tongue kiss Mount Rushmore and drop my pants to my waist, then take the Washington Monument all the way to its base. There ain't a lot of things that make me feel this way, but this country of mine makes me totally gay. Now I know things ain't right. It's on the news every night and in the papers almost every day. I wanna hug Uncle Sam, caress his hair with my hand, and let him know everything is okay. Maybe give him a quick peck at the nape of his neck and rub his shoulders till his cares went away. Trace the curves of his thighs and look into his eyes and see if he wants to go hit the hay. 'Cause I'm totally gay for America. I'm totally gay for the US of A. I know we could never get married, but he never asked me anyway, 'cause it would undermine the family. I know that's what he'd say, but we could keep it a secret and continue on that way, and I'd be faithful and loyal till he threw me away. There ain't a lot of things that make me feel this way, but this country of mine makes me totally gay.
Low-income families in New York are feeling the pinch of the so-called sequester. The automatic multi-billion-dollar spending cuts, which kicked in last year after Congress failed to agree a budget. People are being told to find smaller and cheaper apartments or see the rent skyrocket. RT's Marina Portnaya met one of them.
This is my brother and his family.
Inside Ann Brown's home.
So this is home for me.
A lifetime of memories are displayed everywhere you look.
One of my friends went to West Virginia.
This 83-year-old has lived in her one-bedroom New York City apartment for 37 years.
This is the first letter I received from HPD.
But a few months ago, city officials told her she has to downsize. Her options: move into a studio apartment or see your $700 rent triple.
The only thing I know is I heard the word sequester, whatever that means. It affects us, the seniors.
The city agency that subsidizes rent for low-income New Yorkers is facing a $36 million reduction due to budget cuts known as sequestration. As a result, thousands of seniors like Ann are being forced to shrink their lives into smaller and cheaper apartments.
I'm not physically able, not financially able. What am I going to do with my furniture? Just sit it on the sidewalk? I can't afford to store it, so what am I going to do with it? My life earnings is in this apartment.
Civil rights attorney Norman Siegel, who represents many sequestered seniors, calls the downsizing campaign inhumane.
I can't dismiss the possibility that the effect of this will impact disproportionately on seniors and poor people, because in the bigger picture, the people who are in power and make these decisions know that seniors might not fight back.
And it's a problem playing out nationwide, potentially affecting more than 2 million low-income American households in the coming year. That's according to one Washington budget think tank. But it's when social cuts drag in the nation's unprotected pensioners that experts say the effects will prove explosive.
What happens to a family watching the government of the country stick it to grandma when she's 80 years old? You're making enemies. You wonder why people join the Tea Party. You wonder why people join Occupy Wall Street. Well, many times the reasons are grandma.
In the current era of budget cuts, the country's elderly, most in need of government assistance and stability, are being displaced. Vulnerable citizens forced to spend their golden years suffering the consequences of Washington's debt and overspending.
It's like putting somebody in prison that didn't commit a crime. That's the way I see it. What did we do to cause this deficit? And why are you going to balance it on the backs of the seniors?
Marina Portnaya, RT, New York.
Welfare music, watch the baby dance to that welfare music. Will she ever stand a chance? Quit school when she was 17, senator on TV calls her welfare queen. She used to be daddy's little girl, now she needs help in this mean old world. In the bargain bin, loves Carlin Carter and Loretta Lynn. Tries to have fun on a Saturday night. Sunday morning don't shine so bright. It's welfare music. Watch the baby dance to that welfare music. Will she ever stand a chance? It takes two to make three, but one ain't chasing women and drinking beer. Said nobody understands how he feels, but
You're listening to The Night Gallery.
Now, trillions spent, thousands dead, but the global war on drugs is turning into an even steeper uphill battle. The UN says almost 300 million people around the world are addicted to illegal substances, and that the global trafficking network is growing. RT's Paul Lear reports now on how Israel has unexpectedly become a major hub for the drug trade.
Like most major cities, there's a dark side to the Tel Aviv night scene. Armed with a hidden camera, we visit one of the popular downtown nightclubs. Everything's on offer, short of doing drugs in the middle of the room.
I was using drugs in about 25 years, but not the hard stuff. And then 16 years ago, I fell to the heroin and the cocaine. This was terrible.
Ronnie is a former user. He spent many nights in prison and paid the ultimate price.
We were living on the street. You don't feel what you're doing at all. You just, you want to use the stuff. You're getting arrested for an hour, 2 hours, and then you have to get it again. So it's a circle that you can't come out from it. Not a lot of people coming out from this circle. My wife, she died from the drugs. She couldn't stop.
With 4 borders, drug smugglers are entering the country from all sides. Although in this instance, security forces managed to make an arrest, they cannot stop them all. Israel has a star role in the most recent World Drug Report issued by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. Alongside Brazil, it's listed as a country that is a major manufacturer, importer, exporter and user of narcotic drugs.
I can confirm that more than 50% of all the drugs that enter Israel are seized. But this is obviously long-term counter-police operations that will take place and continue. We're working with the Interpol and its 25 representatives that are here in Israel, and therefore information is transferred on a day-to-day basis.
But maybe that is not enough.
Based on figures that the Israeli police know about, and based on the suspects that we've arrested, there has been an increase in attempts. That's correct.
All sides agree this is a dangerous situation and that Israel has to do more so people like Ronnie will have hope once again.
I think that today, even the government, people understand that it's a disease.
The situation in Israel is not substantially different from that in Europe or in the United States. Cocaine simply arrived in the country fashionably late. Paul Lear, RT, Tel Aviv.
Over the past few days, people have been sending me information regarding the CERN experiment that will be conducted